This is Shawn Irwin, your youth director with Darts Ontario. Welcome to episode 11 of Darts Ontario Let's Talk Darts. I wanted to talk to our youth players from past and present to see how they got into darts. Thank you to our sponsor, Specialty Sports Supplies, also known as SSS Canada, for all their support in the Darts Ontario organization. Go to their website at ssscanada.com for your high-quality custom dart shirts. I'm with Donovan Pilon of the Cornwall Premier Youth Dart League and two-time provincial champion. Thank you for taking the time to answer some questions so the dart community can get to know Donovan Pilon. So how you doing today, Donovan?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, that's great. So how did you start playing darts, and how old were you?
So I started when I was like five, maybe. Like I was playing like downstairs with my dad. My dad like lowered the board for me so that I could throw and actually get it on. But I never actually liked it until I was 12, whenever I hit my first 180, and that's when I actually started playing. And it pretty much took away from there.
So when did you first start joining a league?
I joined a league when I was 13, so 2017.
Yeah. And you already hit a 180 before you joined the league.
Yeah.
So who inspired you to play competitively?
Really, because in Cornwall we have like amazing dart players. Like we have Darlene Van Slulen, and like I've grown up like watching her play and like watching my dad play and my mom, and like it was just I was always around it. So like I'm like, this would be pretty cool if I would play. Like so like when I hit my first 180, I'm like, well, Dad, you got to get me in the league now. You got to get me playing.
Yeah. So how often do you actually practice? You play once a week usually in a league, and how often did you practice between each time you played and during the off season as well?
Well, before it was like every day for at least an hour. I really wanted to play. I was enjoying the game, and even in the off season, it was like off season. Me and my dad would come down here, play about like 3 hours of the day. We would just like play for fun. We don't even see the time go by. That's how fun it was. And then now I've like barely touched darts. I've been so busy, and it was just like too much going on right now. So I just barely touch the darts. Touch them every once in a while, but I mean, not often.
Well, I think COVID has a big play in that, which is too bad, and hopefully that can go away. We can get back to reality soon.
Yeah.
So practicing is never as fun as playing a real game, but how did you make practicing fun?
Me and my dad invented like games with each other. Like we do this one to practice our doubles. We do double in, double out, but the only way you could get in is if the opponent calls your double. So like say I give him double 10 and he gives me like double 4. The only way I could get in is if I hit double 4 to start.
That's a good way to play. Good challenge. Now, how do you
Yeah.
prepare yourself? Prepare yourself before a big match and getting focused.
Well, that's like not the issue for me. It's more just keeping my emotions down for it, because I get very competitive, and like the bigger the match, the better I'm gonna play. Like that's what I'm striving for, is like the big match. But like whenever I get to the big match and I'm not shooting well, I really need to try and keep it cool.
That was the next question: is how do you control your emotions during that big game?
I just have to know that I always have a chance until they hit the double, until the game's over. That's when I know like I'm out. But like I can't have the mindset thinking, oh, if you don't hit a good score, you're out here. But like I've always seemed to know when to control them.
Right. Now, you've played a lot of darts, a lot of competition, but what's the best part of competing for you? And what's the most important part of the game of darts for you?
Best part about competing, traveling and like seeing everyone. Like made so many friends from darts that like I wouldn't expected to have. like when I go down to St. Catharines, that's like a very special time because I get to see all my buddies from like Oshawa Youth Darts, London Youth Darts, like everywhere in Ontario. And I'm just so happy to see them because that's like the main thing. Like, yeah, there's the darts, but there's also that social aspect where you could just have fun with people and like see them, you know?
Yeah. Now, after a good performance and the match is over, what's the one thing you like to do?
I make sure I shake well, now I can't shake the opponent's hand, but
Right.
I mean, I used to like shake the marker's hand first and then my opponent's hand, and then probably just go back to meeting friends and just like talking about how they did and just socializing.
Now, if your match doesn't go well, as we know, we don't always win. How do you stay focused getting ready for the next match?
I normally have to like go to the bathroom and just like kind of like cool myself down because I don't like to lose. If I lose, I kind of like get mad at myself because I could have done something better. So I just like go over the game and I'm like, okay, I could have done that better. Just like next time, just don't worry about it. And then like just go into it thinking I could still make it out of my section. And everyone has to lose like once in a while, like, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Let's go down history lane with your experience with Darts Ontario. So in 2017, you finished second in your zones. In 2018, and 2018, first place. In 2019 and 2020, you didn't have to play the zones because you got to buy into the provincials. As in 2018 and 2009, you became the champion. Tell us about each of these provincials with you winning 2 years in a row.
Well, 2018 came to a shock for me because I it went by so fast. It was a blur. Like, it was, I didn't get nervous, and that's what scared me because always used to, I used to always get nervous. And then 2018, playing like, I think it was like Nate Shirk. I think that's his last name. I'm
Right?
not really too.
Yeah.
I played him in the semis, and I'm like, okay, I'm not nervous whatsoever because like, even if I lose, I'm getting something. Like, I just wanted to get like a trophy to say that I was like there, and like I wasn't sure. I didn't think I would win it all. Like, then when I met Zach in the finals, I was scared. He was tall. He could shoot really good. I got nervous. Like, first game destroyed me. Second game, I started feeling it again, and then it just went from there. And I took two straight, and I'm like, did I just win? Like, it shock. And then 2019, I'm being honest right now, I should have been out first round. First round to knockout by Braden Hall. He just missed his double. Missed double 15. If he would have hit double 15, I would have been out. I would have been walking home. But he missed his double. I got so lucky. Like, luck is like the best thing to have in darts right now. And I was able to knock out a 76 and just ride my way to the finals off of that, and then face Zach again. And me and Zach just wanted to put on a show that night.
That you did. We all remember that very well. In 2020, you were the two-time defending champion. Did you feel pressure defending your title? And tell us about playing AJ Dempsey in the top 8 this year.
I felt a lot of pressure trying to defend it, but I also felt like kind of bad because like it's just because I should have been a senior technically by the year I was born, but because of my birthday is so late, I got to be a junior, and like all my Zach and all of them, they graduated, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could be like there with you, but like I know I have to be like down in junior. And going up there, I got really scared because I know AJ and I have had some like encounters in the past, and he's a really good shot. Like, he's so young and he's a really good shot. So I'm like, I hope I don't have to face him before the finals. I'm just like, just don't meet him until the semis or the finals. meet him top 8, and I'm like, okay, if I lose, I'm losing to a great player. Like, and then ended up not hitting my double. Got a little frustrated at myself because I couldn't hit the double, but it was all good. Just a good day.
Yeah, he was really looking forward to that match, and yeah, he was one happy young man. In 2018 and 2019, you went to the Nationals as part of Team Ontario. Start with the first year in Drummondville and tell us about your results and the experience.
Drummondville, that was, I remember like the entire team came and picked me up at my house with Ryan, and we went to Eastside's. I remember that because me and Zach challenged each other to eat a bowl of salad. We were not the brightest people there, but I mean, we get up there and it was just a blast. I was scared going in because I didn't know what to expect. My first nationals, I thought everyone was going to be like just amazing, which they were. Just I didn't think I would do so well. Like I thought I would like lose right away because I didn't think I was the caliber of dart player that I am. Like I thought I was worse than what I was going to be. And then I remember the bursary, I had to play Ethan Costanzo, and he destroyed me. And I'm like, okay, tomorrow, if I play you, I want to beat you, you know? And like me and Zach came in doubles first day, and we really clicked. Like me and him, we were talking before the nationals, and we're just like, yeah, let's go try and like win a title here. Like we really clicked really fast, and that's what you need as a dart partner. You need to be able to click with your teammate, and that's what happened. And then my singles got off to a rocky start. I think I lost like the first round robin, so like I'm like, oh, this ain't gonna go well. Then I started picking up some wins in my section. I get to Jimmy Bellavas, and we're both stuck on double one. And I was getting pretty pissed at myself because I normally hit double one like every time. And so then I lost that and had to go into the bathroom, calm myself down because I got way too heated. Then meet Blake McDonald for like the 10th time that weekend. Like me and him always seemed to face each other that weekend. And I was able to beat him out in the semis, go to the finals against Cohen Campbell. What a shot. I was up 1-0, I think, and then he took one, and then I came 2-1, and then he took 144 out on me, and I'm like, I just smiled, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like this is what's gonna happen. Like we're gonna go down to the last game, and he just I was afraid that he was gonna hit a big out, so like I was getting nervous in the last game, and then I come in with double 19 left, and he just missed a big out. So I have double 19, miss it low, and then I'm just like, no nerves, and I just drop it over top, and I get it, and I'm like, I just won nationals. Like I was so shocked. And I believe the same night I had to face Rob in the finals for America's Cup qualifier. And me and Rob were always like joking with each other. And I'm pretty sure you marked that match.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. And me and him had a great match. I was able to beat him and get America's Cup. And I'm like, I didn't know where Trinidad and Tobago was. I never heard of it before. Now that's all I could think of going back to Trinidad.
I'm sure that was a great experience going to the Caribbean and playing darts, and you ended up winning it all too down there.
Yeah. Nice little trophy. Nice experience with all the Team Canada and everyone there. Everyone was so welcoming. Nice people, just the nicest people.
That's wonderful to hear. Now in 2019, we went to Saskatoon for nationals. Tell us about your results and the experience and how it different from 2018.
2019, I found probably the best nationals I've been to because not only did I like win the World Cup qualifier and the World Masters qualifier, but I felt like I played my best darts there. Me and Zach opened the week with a nice retaining our doubles championship. Coming in the next day, going in for singles, get edged out by Cohen Campbell in the semis. I felt very bad that like me and Zach got edged out in the semis, and so we went out of the room and we just like bowed our heads and we're just like, nah. Like we just got pissed at each other. Then we go back to the hotel, to our room, and we just look at each other and we're like, okay, one of us is winning the World Cup qualifier. Like, because the World Cup qualifier was that night, and like we go down there and Zach made it pretty far. I'm pretty sure he made it, I think it was the quarters that he got knocked out by Dylan McClellan. And I'm like, I really wanted to see him and I go into the finals for the World Cup so that we'd both make it, because my Ontario like best friend right there. And then I ended up beating Cohen in the semis, and I just remember looking at the team. The team was all behind me, and I'm just like, I smiled because in disbelief, I'm just like, smile, and everyone's just like, yeah. And I'm just like, then with Jamie, oh, great dart player right there. She decided to be my wife for the weekend. And I was a big Boston Pizza engagement ceremony. I remember that because I yelled, she said yes. And then we go into mixed doubles, and I set her up with, like, we had 213 left, and I hit a 177. We're facing BC's, I think it was the McDonald, like, siblings. And it was matching each other shot for shot until I hit the 177 to leave Jamie 36. She hits it first dart, and I'm like, let's go. We have a chance. We have a chance to win this. Go to the finals against Cohen and Emily from Nova Scotia. And we put up one hell of a fight. Sorry for my language and that. And then we ended up losing, but it was a great experience.
Yeah, definitely a great time in both cities at nationals for us. Now, you also went to England to play at the Worlds. How was that experience playing where England is huge on darts?
So the first time I went to England, 2018, it was my dream come true, because that's where I wanted to be. I wanted to go to England to play darts. It was right after I came home from America's Cup that I got the call saying, you're able to go to England. We're inviting you to the World Masters. And I'm like, that's my dream come true. Get there. Got knocked out in the preliminary round, but like, I didn't care because I was in England. I played against one of the best like youth in England, and I'm like, I felt pretty good about myself. And then 2019 came around, and I'm like, I ain't losing that fast this time. Like, I wanna at least get past one person. I ended up getting past one person, and then got knocked out by like a guy that made it to, I'm pretty sure, the semis or the quarters. He went pretty far in the tourney, and I'm like, at least I lost to one of the best. Then there was a Lakeside qualifier that I played in, and I played really well. Just couldn't hit my double in a round, and I was like, if only I could hit my double.
We all say that many times. So you went to the World Cup in Romania. How was that experience playing for Team Canada this time?
I felt a lot of pressure playing for Team Canada in Romania. Like, I was playing well in practice. I thought I was going to have an amazing weekend. And I started throwing mixed doubles with Haley Crowley. Me and her just were out of sync. We couldn't play very well at all. And like, I was just like, this isn't how I wanted to start my week, just playing like bad. But we won a couple games, and then we played England. This was the matchup we wanted. it was supposed to be Leighton Bennett and Bo Greaves versus Haley Crowley and Donovan Pilon, but Leighton pulled out of the tournament and it was Brad Phillips instead. So we had so much fun playing England. We just had a blast. And then we played doubles, me and Nathan Osman, junior boy doubles. And we just barely didn't make it. If we would have won one more, we would have made it. But we just got edged out by Scotland, who phenomenal players. And then singles, I lost first round knockout. I made it out of my section and then lost first round knockout. But it was just fun. Like Romania, best experience of my life, I would say, because the travel, the people that I met there, it was great.
Well, we've talked a lot about some of your history of darts. Is any other big events of darts, any highlights that you can think of while you've been playing darts all these years?
Going down to New Brunswick to Jeff Smith's tournament. He hosted a tournament, the Joe and Mary Houston Memorial Tournament, and I've been there twice, and I won the first time. Even Trevor Pettigrew went down there from London. It was just it's a great tournament. You see all the dart players that you want to see there. It's so much fun.
Now, what are your goals for the new season coming up, and how are you going to work towards reaching your goals? I know you haven't been picking up darts at all, but what are your plans?
I'm kind of on the verge of quitting because it's not like I have other things going on that I just don't feel like playing in tournaments anymore. I just want to practice at home sometimes. Like if I do end up coming back, which I most likely will because my mind is like that. It's like quit one day and then it's like, oh, I picked up darts again. Oh, I want to play darts more. It's pretty much, if I do come back, it's make team one more time. I just want one more nationals. Just have a blast at nationals one more time. And just like, if I do go back, I'll have to like actually really work for it because I know everyone wants to go to nationals right now. And like, there's so many good players that I'll just have to practice like every day for it.
Well, you know what you have to do to get there. You've done it before. We all get into this funk sometimes, and we just somehow got to get out of it and get our mindset is what you really want. But the main thing is the sportsmanship, and you have to have fun doing it. Otherwise, it's not worth doing it.
Yeah.
Who are some of your biggest supporters?
Definitely my dad. My dad loves to support me, sometimes a little too much. I would say the entirety of Cornwall, because all the Cornwall dart players, I haven't met one of them that really like don't support me because like they're all just like, if I have to have a fundraiser, everyone shows up. They all just love me, and I'm like, oh, thank you like so much. I'm just like astonished by them. Yeah, that's pretty much my big ones.
That's wonderful. And do you play any other sports?
I plan to play everything. I started playing basketball this year a lot. Like I'm probably going to play basketball like after this interview. Like I'm going to the park. We play a lot of street ball, so like it gets kind of physical, but I mean,
Do you have any other hobbies besides darts and sports?
I play a lot of video games. It's a pretty common one
Yeah.
between most dart players. Like I've played games with fellow dart players a lot. Like we've played the popular Fortnite. We've always played that. We had me, Jaden, Ralph, Zach, Trevor, and Emily. We all had like a big game with each other. It's pretty fun whenever we get all the people in.
Now with COVID, a lot of the dart players are playing online. I know you haven't picked up any darts, but have you thought about playing some online darts?
I mean, when COVID first started, I was playing a lot of online darts, and then I got mad at myself because I broke a dart, so like it just didn't go so well. I wanted to play online, but I'm like, I just don't really have the time for it. So I just said I'll just stick to my practice routines.
Now, what's the one thing as we're always improving in anything we do in life, what's the one thing you have to improve in the game of darts?
I would say more of my sportsmanship because I've been known to be a kind of cocky with myself because I like to call it confidence. Some people call it cocky because when I go into a tournament, I know I won't lose unless like I've like beat myself. That's how I like to view it because I'm not there to lose. I'm there to win a lot because like with darts, I'm very competitive. I don't like to lose at all. So like I have the mindset where I'm always the winner. So like that's how people think I'm cocky, but that's just how I stay focused. If I think like I'm a loser, like if I think I could lose, I just throw myself off. That's why I always think I'm always gonna be the winner. And then when I lose, it just goes a little harder. But I mean, I could suck that up.
Well, we all have to learn how to be a good winner, and I don't like to use the word loser, but we all have to be a good loser. We don't all
Yeah.
win, and we need to find that sportsmanship. And with you, seeing you in Drummondville and then Saskatoon, that improvement in your sportsmanship, we were all so impressed with you. You did amazing. Very proud of you for that.
Thank you.
Now, do you have a favorite opponent to play against? And if there's one player in the world you'd love to play, who and why?
Okay, so my favorite opponent, damn, there's a lot of good ones. Probably Zach. Me and Zach always have good battles. I'm like when we're playing, it's like big score, big score, big score, big finish, and I'm like, how do we do this? Like it's just we give the better of each other. And then if there was one player that I'd like to play, Jeff Smith. I've I've traveled with him. I just never played him, and like he's the top Canadian right now, and I'm like, I want to play you. I want to see like if I could actually beat you. Like,
Well, you should have asked him because I bet he would. So, but as we wrap this up, one more question. What advice would you give to youth to follow your footsteps and the success you've had?
practice definitely makes perfect. Practice your doubles. Doubles is the most important thing to practice if you want to be very successful in this. Like everyone could score. Everyone could score. Like you could like hit triple 20s for days, but if you can't finish, you're not going to make it if you can't finish. So practice makes perfect, but also have like don't get like if you're like young and you like think it's all going to your head, just take time, just cool. Don't rush things. Like don't try and be great. Just know you're going to have some setbacks, but you just got to push through those setbacks.
Some great advice. And thank you, Donovan, for taking the time to talk to us. And hopefully we see you at some tournaments, hopefully provincials next year if we can get rid of this COVID, and we'll go from there. So thank you so much.
No problem.
Bye now.
Bye.
That was great talking to Donovan Pilon. A lot of great success that young man's had. Make sure you go to our website at www.dartsontario.ca to find out more information about our organization. And make sure you go to our Facebook page and like it so you get all the updates. Are you a current or former member of the Darts Ontario Youth Program? If you'd like to be on one of our episodes, please email me at youth@dartsontario.com. This is Shawn Irwin, your Youth Director of Darts Ontario, and make sure you check out our next interview on episode 12 of Darts Ontario Let's Talk Darts. I'll be talking with the first female to win the Triple Crown at Nationals. I can't wait to hear her experience. Thanks for watching and see you next time.